It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Seneca. What if I told you that most people will spend the rest of this year making the exact same mistakes they made last year? Not because they can't change, but because they refuse to let go of habits that are silently destroying their potential. The truth is, your future isn't shaped by one big decision. It's shaped by the tiny, repetitive choices you make every single day. And some of those choices are costing you more than you realize. Your time, your peace of mind, your relationships, and even your sense of purpose. This isn't just another New Year, New Me pep talk. This is a Stoic wake-up call. In the next few minutes, you're going to uncover 10 toxic habits that, if you keep them, will quietly rob you of the life you're capable of living. But if you quit them now, before 2026 arrives, you can step into the next chapter of your life with clarity, strength, and control. Stay with me until the very end, because the last habit on this list might be the very one holding you back the most. Number 1, procrastinating important tasks. You know that little voice that whispers, "I'll do it later." That's procrastination sneaking in, slowly stealing your momentum and quietly eroding your life. Every time you delay an important task, you're giving away control, leaving your future self to pick up the pieces. The Stoics had a clear message. Don't act as if you had 10,000 years to live. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. That's right. You don't have unlimited tomorrows to chase what matters. Here's the truth. Procrastination isn't laziness. It's fear dressed in delay. Fear of discomfort, fear of failure, fear of starting something big. But comfort doesn't build greatness, and waiting won't get you anywhere. You must act now decisively. Start small, but start. Break your tasks into tiny, non-negotiable steps. Set a timer for just 10 minutes. Begin. The moment you move, momentum grows, and the mountain you feared begins to feel like a climb you can manage. Try this exercise. At the start of your day, identify the one task that will have the most impact on your life if completed today. No excuses. Commit to doing it before anything else. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it feels heavy, do it. Said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. That means resistance is not your enemy. It's the signal that this is exactly what you need to tackle. So ask yourself, are you letting your tasks control you, or are you stepping up and taking charge? Quit procrastinating. Respect your time, honor your potential, and let action become your default. The sooner you start, the sooner you reclaim the life that's waiting for you. Number 2, complaining about things beyond control. Complaining about things beyond your control is a trap that silently steals your energy and joy. Think about it. You can rail against the traffic, the weather, or someone else's mood, but none of that will change the reality in front of you. The Stoics remind us, with a clarity that cuts through any excuse, that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. Every complaint about what you cannot influence is just mental noise, cluttering your mind and distracting you from what truly matters, your response. Here's the truth. You can't control everything. You won't stop the rain, you can't force people to act a certain way, and the world isn't obligated to follow your script. But here's what you can control: your thoughts, your reactions, your choices. That's it. That's where your power lives. Every moment you spend griping about the uncontrollable is a moment stolen from growth, from action, from calm. So how do you quit this habit before 2026? Start by noticing the complaint the moment it rises. Pause, ask yourself, is this within my control? If it isn't, release it. Visualize letting it go, like a leaf floating down a stream. Replace the complaint with a question that invites action. What can I do here? Even small, intentional steps redirect your energy toward what you can influence. Practice this daily. When irritation strikes, breathe, recognize, release, redirect. Over time, your mind will stop turning uncontrollable events into endless rants. You'll reclaim clarity, focus, and calm. As Epictetus says, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Stop wasting your energy on the uncontrollable. Instead, harness it, focus it, own it. Your peace and your power depend on it. Number 3, seeking constant external validation. Seeking constant external validation is like handing the keys of your happiness over to someone else, and then wondering why your life feels shaky. Every like, every compliment, every nod of approval becomes a tiny tether, binding you to other people's opinions instead of your own sense of worth. And here's the truth: opinions are fleeting, unpredictable, and often rooted in someone else's insecurities. Reminds us, if someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, by which no one was ever truly harmed. Notice the difference. He seeks truth, not applause. You need to start shifting that energy inward. Ask yourself daily, do I act to impress others, or do I act to live rightly? The moment you begin to value your own judgment over external approval, you free yourself from endless cycles of comparison and anxiety. You'll feel lighter, clearer, more focused. You'll stop measuring your life by likes, shares, or fleeting comments. Practical exercise. Try this. For 1 week, deliberately withhold sharing achievements or decisions with others. Reflect privately instead. Journal about how these actions make you feel. Notice the subtle shift. Your confidence grows because it's self-generated, not borrowed from applause. Another exercise. When you catch yourself craving approval, pause and label it. Say to yourself, this is a craving for external validation. I release it. Over time, this trains your mind to recognize the difference between genuine growth and performative living. You have the power to live untethered. Quit leaning on others to tell you you're enough. Start 2026 with your own approval as your North Star. This isn't just philosophy, it's freedom. Number 4, dwelling on past mistakes. Dwelling on past mistakes is like carrying a backpack full of stones while trying to sprint toward your future. You can't move fast and you can't see clearly. You might replay moments over and over, asking what if? Or why did I? But here's the truth. Nothing you do today can undo yesterday. Stoicism reminds us through Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your energy belongs in the now, not buried in regrets. Imagine treating your past errors not as anchors, but as teachers. When a mistake surfaces in your mind, pause and breathe. Acknowledge it, then gently redirect yourself to the present. Write it down in a journal, not to shame yourself, but to extract the lesson. Ask, what can this teach me? Or how does this shape my action today? This transforms regret into wisdom and guilt into growth. Start small. Set aside 5 minutes each morning to reflect on one past decision you're tempted to ruminate over. Observe it, then consciously release it. Visualize placing it on a river and watching it drift away. This is a mental exercise in Stoic detachment. You don't deny your errors. You refuse to be imprisoned by them. You'll notice something remarkable. As you quit the habit of dwelling on mistakes, your mind begins to expand. You think clearly, act decisively, and approach challenges with calm determination. Life doesn't demand perfection, it demands presence. And presence is impossible when you're tethered to yesterday. So start today. Let go, your past is done. Your future is waiting. Carry lessons, not regrets. In the words of confine yourself to the present. Make it your mantra, make it your freedom. Number 5, overindulging in distractions, social media, binge watching. Overindulging in distractions, scrolling endlessly through social media, binge watching shows until your eyes blur, or losing hours to meaningless noise quietly steals your life from you. You might tell yourself it's harmless, just a way to unwind. But Stoics remind us, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Every hour spent lost in a feed or a screen is an hour you'll never get back. Time, once gone, cannot be retrieved. You have to see distractions for what they truly are: a slow erosion of focus, purpose, and mental clarity. When your mind constantly flits from one stimulus to another, your ability to concentrate, to think deeply, to act intentionally shrinks. You're not just postponing tasks, you're postponing your growth, your potential, your life. The moment you catch yourself reaching for your phone or the remote out of boredom, pause. Ask, am I feeding my mind or am I feeding an illusion of entertainment? Start small, but start deliberately. Set boundaries, designate blocks of time when screens are off limits. Replace a mindless scroll with a 10-minute meditation, journaling, or a walk where your thoughts can breathe. Notice the difference when you reclaim these stolen moments. The mind, like a garden, needs tending. Distractions are weeds. They spread if left unchecked. Remember, the Stoics didn't preach renunciation for its own sake. They preached presence, awareness, and mastery over oneself. By shedding the habit of overindulgence, you gain clarity. You gain freedom. You regain the hours that truly belong to you. So quit this habit before 2026, not because it's trendy to do so, but because your future self deserves your attention, not your distractions. Begin today, right now. Don't wait for another scroll to end. Number 6, reacting emotionally without pause. Reacting emotionally without pause is one of the quickest ways to give away your power. When you let anger, frustration, or fear dictate your actions, you hand over control to the external world, over which, as reminds us, you have no real authority. You need to remember, the events themselves are neutral. It is your judgment that colors them. Every time you snap, lash out, or stew silently, you're feeding a habit that weakens your inner fortress. Here's the Stoic wake-up call. You can train yourself to pause. You don't have to respond the instant a trigger hits. In fact, the moment between stimulus and reaction is sacred. It's where your power lives. When a wave of emotion rises, don't suppress it, but don't let it run the show either. Take a slow breath. Count to 10. Step back. Ask yourself, what action serves virtue here? Even a brief pause can transform your reaction from chaos into clarity. Start small. Practice this daily. When someone interrupts you, when your plans derail, when criticism lands, give yourself that sacred moment to choose your response. Journal each time you succeed or slip and reflect on the difference it made. Over time, you'll notice a shift. The world may remain unpredictable, but your mind grows steady, resilient, untouchable. Stoicism isn't about being unfeeling, it's about being unshakable. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Let this become your mantra. Before 2026, commit to reclaiming those precious moments between impulse and action. Train yourself to respond thoughtfully, not react emotionally. That is where freedom lives, and once you claim it, no circumstance can strip it from you. Number 7, holding grudges and resentment. Holding onto grudges and resentment is like gripping a burning coal. Hopping it will hurt someone else. But in reality, it's your hand that gets scorched. Every time you replay an old slight or nurse a lingering grudge, you give that person and that moment power over your present. As a Stoic, you know the past is outside your control. The only thing you truly own is how you respond. Reminds us, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Carrying resentment keeps you tethered to negativity, slowing your growth and clouding your judgment. Here's the truth. Holding grudges doesn't change the past. It doesn't rewrite the actions of others or erase their mistakes. What it does is silently erode your inner peace. You end up living in a mental cage, feeding anger and bitterness day after day. Stoicism teaches that your mind should be your sanctuary, not a battlefield where old wounds fester. So how do you release this weight? Start with reflection. Each night, ask yourself, what am I clinging to and why? How does it serve me? Then practice conscious letting go. Visualize handing that resentment to the universe, acknowledging the harm without carrying it. Another practical exercise is journaling. Write down the grievance, then rewrite it from a perspective of understanding or neutrality, not pain. Over time, you train your mind to stop reacting with hostility and start responding with clarity. You don't need to forget immediately. Stoicism isn't about forced emotions. It's about reclaiming your freedom. By releasing grudges, you make room for focus, for action, for growth. You step out of the shadow of past wrongs and walk into your own power. Imagine ending 2025 lighter, unchained from the weight of resentment. That's the Stoic way, unshakable, calm, and fiercely free. Number 8, neglecting physical health and sleep. Neglecting your physical health and sleep is like trying to run a marathon on an empty tank. You might move for a while, but eventually, your body will demand attention. Stoics understood this deeply, reminded himself that it is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. How can you truly live if your own body is betraying you through fatigue, poor nutrition, and restless nights? You have to treat your body as the vessel through which all your action, thought, and virtue flows. Skipping sleep, ignoring exercise, or eating carelessly isn't a badge of toughness. It's a silent saboteur of your willpower. Every night of lost sleep dulls your focus. Every day of neglect drags your energy down. Your mind cannot cultivate wisdom or endurance if your body is crying out for care. Start small, but start consistently. Commit to a bedtime ritual that signals your brain it's time to rest. Dim lights, silence notifications, and let your body slow down naturally. Move daily, not for vanity, but to honor the gift of strength you've been given. Even a short walk or a set of stretches is better than nothing. Fuel yourself with food that nourishes rather than numbs. Think of meals as deliberate choices, each one an investment in your future energy and clarity. Ask yourself daily, am I honoring the temple that carries me through life? If the answer is no, take immediate action. Stoicism teaches that self-mastery isn't abstract. It is applied in every choice, every habit, every sunrise. Quit ignoring your body. Sleep well. Move intentionally. Eat deliberately. Let 2026 be the year you stop sabotaging yourself from the inside out and start showing up fully, energetically, and unshakably alive. Number 9, avoiding responsibility and accountability. One of the fastest ways to stunt your growth and rob yourself of true freedom is by avoiding responsibility and accountability. Think about it. When you constantly blame others, dodge your duties, or make excuses, you're giving away your power. You're handing over control of your life to circumstances, to other people, to fate. And as the Stoics remind us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If you avoid responsibility, you are choosing to react weakly. You have the capacity to own your choices, your mistakes, and your successes. Responsibility isn't a punishment, it's the gateway to mastery. When you accept accountability, you stop wandering aimlessly and start steering your life with intention. Each decision, each action, becomes a tool for building your character. Start small. Each evening, review your day. Identify one moment where you could have taken more ownership. Maybe you avoided a difficult conversation, or maybe you let laziness dictate your actions. Write it down. Reflect on it. Then tomorrow, commit to acting differently. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to step up rather than step aside. Another practical exercise is to set micro goals with personal accountability. Tell someone you trust what you plan to do. Follow through, no excuses. Observe how this habit transforms the way you perceive yourself. You will notice a subtle shift in confidence, in clarity, in courage. Remember, responsibility is the backbone of freedom. When you stop running from it, you stop running from yourself. Said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Take that to heart. Own your life. Accept your role in it fully. Stop shirking. Step into accountability and watch how the world starts bending to the strength of your presence. Number 10, ignoring daily self-reflection and growth. Ignoring daily self-reflection and growth is like walking through life with your eyes half closed. Every day, you have the opportunity to pause, look inward, and ask yourself hard questions. Did I act with integrity today? Did I improve in even the smallest way? When you skip this practice, you let time slip through your fingers unexamined and wasted. Reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If you're not actively shaping those thoughts, someone or something else will. You need to carve out intentional moments each day for reflection. It doesn't have to be complicated. 5 minutes in the morning, jotting down what you intend to achieve and how you want to behave can be transformative. At night, review those intentions. Did you live according to your principles, or did distractions and excuses steer you off course? Be honest with yourself. Stoicism is not about self-criticism for its own sake. It's about seeing clearly so you can course correct. Practical exercises make this tangible. Try a nightly journal. List one victory, one mistake, and one lesson. Or adopt a mental checklist during your day. Am I acting with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance right now? Ask yourself these questions until they become second nature. Here's the truth: you cannot grow in a vacuum. Reflection fuels awareness, and awareness fuels change. Quit ignoring it. Begin today. Start small, but start consistently. Every day you skip this practice is a day your potential slips further from your grasp. Remember Epictetus: first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Stop drifting. Take charge of your inner life and watch how your outer life transforms. Remember, the power to change your life isn't somewhere out there. It's right here within you. Quit these habits before 2026, and you'll step into a version of yourself that's stronger, clearer, and unstoppable. As Seneca said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. So don't let old patterns hold you back from the reality you deserve. Take this wake-up call seriously. Start today, keep pushing, and watch how your world transforms. If this video sparked something in you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs this, and don't forget to subscribe for more Stoic wisdom that empowers you every single day. Your journey to mastery starts now. Go own it. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. What if I told you that the way you start your morning can set the tone for your entire day, and that a simple set of mantras, rooted in the wisdom of and Stoic philosophy, could transform how you face every challenge, every distraction, every moment of doubt? Imagine waking up each day with clarity, calm, and a resilient mindset that no outside chaos can shake. In this video, you're about to discover 10 powerful Stoic mantras, phrases to say to yourself every morning that will strengthen your mind, sharpen your focus, and ground your spirit. These aren't just words. They are tools to build your inner fortress and help you live with purpose and peace no matter what life throws at you. Stick around till the very end, because each mantra builds on the last, creating a morning ritual that will shift your perspective and empower your day in ways you might never have thought possible. Ready to start your mornings like a Stoic emperor? Let's dive in. Number 1, I control my mind, not external events. You need to understand this clearly. You control your mind, not external events. This simple truth is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and one of the most powerful mantras you can repeat every morning. Life throws countless things your way: chaos, setbacks, surprises. But here's the game changer. None of those things has power over your peace unless you give it to them. Said it best: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This isn't some abstract idea. It's a call for you to seize control where it truly matters, inside your own head. You can't control traffic jams, other people's actions, or random problems popping up, but you can control how you respond. Your mind is your fortress. When you build habits of mastering your thoughts, you stop reacting like a leaf in the wind. Instead, you become the calm center in the storm. Start today by catching yourself when your mind drifts into worry or frustration about things outside your control. Pause, take a deep breath. Remind yourself, this is not mine to control. My power lies in how I choose to think and act. Practice this. Repeat it. Make it a habit. Here's a practical exercise. Each morning, take a moment and visualize potential challenges you might face. Then say to yourself, I control my mind, not external events. Feel the weight of those words. Feel how your energy shifts from helplessness to mastery. Over time, this mindset rewires your brain. You become resilient, grounded, unshakable, because you're no longer a victim of circumstance. You're the captain of your inner world, and that truly is freedom. So start now. Claim your mental power every morning, because the real victory isn't changing the world, it's mastering your mind within it. Number 2 today, I will focus on what I can change. Today, I will focus on what I can change. Say that to yourself right now. Let it sink in. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of worries, frustrations, and what-ifs. The news, other people's opinions, the endless what might happen, it all floods your mind, pulls your attention every which way. But here's the truth lived by, and you can live by it too. Your energy is precious. Where you direct it matters. You can't control everything. Trying to do so is like chasing shadows. You waste time and peace on things that slip right through your fingers. Instead, choose to turn your focus inward on what you actually can influence. That's your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, your effort. Said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This isn't just philosophy. It's a call to action. A reminder that the battlefield where real change happens is your own mind and the choices you make. Hear what you can do today to make this mantra real. Start your morning by listing one small thing you can improve. It might be your patience, your work ethic, or even how you respond to stress. When distractions or worries creep in, gently bring your mind back. Ask, is this within my control? If not, release it. Own your responses. No one can take away your calm or determination unless you let them. Commit to progress, not perfection. Change happens in small, steady steps. By focusing only on what's within your grasp, you build resilience. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become the architect of your life. This is the essence of Stoic strength. So today, choose your wisely. Don't give power to what you can't change. Instead, rise with the quiet confidence that comes from mastering yourself. That's where true freedom lives. Repeat this mantra every morning and watch how your world shifts, not because outside things changed, but because you did. Number 3, I accept whatever fate brings with calm. You need to hear this right now. You must accept whatever fate brings with calm, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Reminds us, accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs. Imagine the power in that acceptance, not passive surrender, but an active choice to meet life as it unfolds, without resistance or unnecessary suffering. When you greet each morning, say to yourself, I accept whatever fate brings with calm. Let this mantra sink deep into your bones. It's a shield and a sword. It frees you from the chaos of frustration and worry. Why waste energy fighting what you cannot change? Instead, focus on your response, your true realm of control. This doesn't mean giving up on your goals or desires. It means understanding that some things lie beyond your reach. The wind doesn't obey your wishes, but your sails can adjust. You keep steering, steady and composed, no matter the storm. Start today. When you face an obstacle or unexpected event, pause, take a breath, repeat your mantra silently or aloud. Feel the tension ease. This practice rewires your mind. It teaches you resilience. And as Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This calm acceptance is a muscle. You strengthen it through repetition. The next time life throws you a curveball, don't lash out or retreat. Stand firm. Say, I accept whatever fate brings with calm. Own your peace. Own your power, because in this acceptance lies your freedom and your victory. Number 4, my worth is not defined by others' opinions. Your worth is not defined by others' opinions. Say it again. Your value doesn't hinge on what people think of you. This idea might sound simple, but living it, that's the real challenge. Reminded us that the judgments of others are beyond our control. So why hand over your power to them? You need to understand this deeply. No one else holds the key to your self-worth. When you anchor your identity in the approval or disapproval of others, you're building on quicksand. Their opinions shift like the wind, unpredictable and fleeting. One moment you're lifted up, the next, torn down. You're not a puppet to be swayed by every whisper or glance. Now let me urge you, start your day by saying this mantra with intention. My worth is not defined by others' opinions. Feel the strength in those words. Let them echo inside you until they replace any doubt or insecurity planted by outside voices. Remember what Epictetus said. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You control your reaction. You control your sense of self. Here's a practical exercise for you. Every morning, look yourself in the mirror and say that mantra aloud. Watch your eyes. Notice how your posture changes. Stand tall. Breathe deeply. Commit to feeling your intrinsic value before stepping out into the world. When negativity or judgment creeps in, repeat it silently to yourself. Shield yourself with these words. You might catch yourself slipping back into old habits, seeking validation, worrying about approval. That's natural. Progress isn't linear. Each time you catch it, remind yourself, your worth is unshakable. It's built on your character, your choices, your resilience, not on applause or criticism. By embracing this, you reclaim your power. You free yourself from the exhausting trap of trying to please everyone. You become centered, grounded in who you truly are. This is the essence of Stoic strength, not in bending to others' will, but in standing firm in your own. So promise yourself this. No matter what others say or think, you will hold fast to your worth. You will walk your path with confidence, knowing your value is inherent and unchangeable. Let this be the foundation of your day, your decisions, your life. Because when you own your worth, no one else can take it away. Number 5, I will act with virtue and integrity. You need to hear this every morning. I will act with virtue and integrity. Not just as a phrase to repeat mindlessly, but as a powerful commitment you make to yourself right at the start of your day. Because here's the truth, when you choose to live by virtue, you choose a path that no circumstance or external chaos can shake. Said it best. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. That's your blueprint. Simple, clear, uncompromising. Now, why does this matter? Because integrity isn't just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself when no one else is watching. It's that quiet voice inside that demands honesty, courage, and fairness, even when it's inconvenient. Every decision you make, every interaction you have becomes a reflection of your character. When you act with virtue, you build an inner fortress that guards your peace and dignity. But here's the kicker, it's not enough to just think about virtue. You've got to do it, practice it actively, start small. When faced with a tough choice today, ask yourself, is this the right thing to do? Does it honor who I want to be? Let that question be your compass. When your mind tries to cut corners or take the easy way out, remember words. Force yourself back on track. Try this exercise tomorrow morning. Stand in front of a mirror and say out loud, "I will act with virtue and integrity." Feel the weight of those words. Then, write down one specific action you will take that embodies this promise. Maybe it's speaking honestly in a difficult conversation or resisting a temptation to complain. Hold yourself accountable. Living with integrity isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's choosing moment by moment to be better than yesterday. You're not just building habits, you're sculpting your soul. And when you wake each morning with this mantra, you anchor yourself in a truth that will carry you through any storm. So commit now. Say it again. I will act with virtue and integrity. Let it fuel your choices. Let it shape your day. Because this is the foundation for a life that's truly your own, and that's something no one can take away. Number 6, discomfort is a path to growth. Discomfort is a path to growth. That might sound simple, but it's a truth that shakes the foundation of how most people live. You see, your mind naturally pulls you away from pain, unease, and struggle. It craves comfort, safety, and ease. But what if I told you that real progress, the kind that transforms you from the inside out, often begins right where discomfort starts? One of the greatest Stoics reminded us that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. That means every obstacle, every prick of discomfort, isn't a sign to quit. It's an invitation to evolve. When you wake up and tell yourself, "I will embrace discomfort today," you're setting a powerful intention. You're telling your mind and body that growth matters more than comfort. The truth is, when you avoid discomfort, you stay stuck. Growth requires you to lean into challenges, to stretch beyond what feels safe, to test your limits. This doesn't mean seeking pain for pain's sake, but recognizing that discomfort is a signal that you're pushing boundaries. Try this. The next time you feel hesitation or fear about something that could stretch you, say to yourself, "This discomfort is my teacher." Let it be a mantra that rewires your brain to see difficulty as opportunity. Notice how your mindset shifts when you welcome challenges instead of shrinking from them. Your journey isn't about avoiding the hard moments. It's about stepping into them with courage and curiosity. Each time you choose discomfort, you build resilience, a muscle that makes every future trial easier to face. The Stoics believed that living well meant accepting what life hands you and using it as fuel to become stronger. So start your mornings with this mantra. Discomfort is the path to my growth. Let it remind you that every challenge, every uneasy moment is not a setback but a stepping stone. Walk into your day ready to lean into discomfort and watch how your life begins to transform. Because growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens when you dare to face what's uncomfortable and keep moving forward. Number 7, I let go of what I cannot control. You have to say this to yourself every morning. I let go of what I cannot control. Let it settle deep in your mind before the day even begins. Because here's the truth, there's a vast ocean of things swirling around you that are simply beyond your reach. No amount of worry, stress, or overthinking will change them. And yet, so often, you let those things steal your peace, your focus, and your power. Said it clearly, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This isn't just ancient wisdom. It's your personal invitation to reclaim your energy, to stop pouring it into things that aren't yours to command. When you hold onto what you can't control, you tie yourself to frustration and helplessness. You become a prisoner of circumstance instead of the captain of your own ship. But what does it really mean to let go? It's not about passivity or giving up. It's about shifting your attention. Imagine you're holding a rope tightly, dragging behind you a heavy cart labeled external chaos. Every time you grip, it pulls you down. Now, loosen your hands, drop the rope. Feel that immediate relief. That's what happens when you release what you can't influence. So how do you practice this every single day? Start small. Each morning, look at your day ahead. Identify what's within your power, your thoughts, your choices, your actions. Focus your energy there. When a stressful thought about something outside your control pops up, maybe the behavior of others, the weather, or unexpected events, stop yourself. Say out loud, "I let go of what I cannot control." Repeat it. Make it a shield for your mind. Here's a practical exercise. Whenever you catch yourself spiraling into worry about something external, pause and write down 2 things you can control in that situation. Then, take one action step on what's in your hands right now. This rewires your brain to move from helplessness to empowerment. You don't have to be perfect at this. Nobody is. But the more you remind yourself to let go, the more you build an unshakable inner calm. The noise outside, it won't disappear, but you won't let it drown your peace anymore. So promise yourself this today, that no matter what happens, you will guard your mind by releasing the uncontrollable, because your strength lives there, and that's where true freedom begins. Number 8, I choose my response, not my circumstances. You need to understand this clearly. You don't control what happens to you, but you absolutely control how you respond. This is the core of Stoic wisdom, beautifully captured by Epictetus when he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Let that sink in. Your circumstances might throw chaos your way, but your power lies in your response. You choose it. You always do. Imagine waking up each morning reminding yourself, "I choose my response, not my circumstances." This mantra rewires your mind. It pushes you to step out of the victim mindset and into the driver's seat of your life. The moment you accept that your reaction is yours to command, you take back control. No one can steal your peace unless you hand it over. Here, what I want you to do right now. When you face a challenge today, big or small, pause, breathe. Acknowledge the situation, then deliberately decide your response. Will you meet it with calm, patience, and strength, or with frustration, anger, and regret? Your choice shapes your experience. Urged us to remember that external events are beyond our control. Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed, he said. Your response is the gateway between what happens and how you feel about it. Guard that gate fiercely. Practice this. Each morning, say to yourself, "I choose my response, not my circumstances." Repeat it until it becomes your default. Let it settle in your bones. This is how you build resilience, how you build freedom. It's not the chaos outside, but the calm inside that defines you. So start today. Own your reactions. Stand firm in your power. You don't have to wait for perfect conditions to be your best self. You have everything you need right now in your response. Choose wisely. Number 9, I embrace each moment fully and mindfully. You need to start your day by saying to yourself, "I embrace each moment fully and mindfully." It sounds simple, but living by this mantra changes everything. Reminded us that confine yourself to the present. Why? Because the present is all you truly have. The past is gone. The future isn't here yet. Your power lies right now in this breath, this second. When you say this mantra, you're making a choice. You're telling yourself to stop rushing ahead, stop being trapped in distractions or worries. You're choosing to show up fully, to feel, to see, to listen with real presence. You're rejecting the autopilot mode that dulls your life and distances you from what matters most. Embracing each moment fully means you face whatever comes with open eyes and calm mind. You accept the good and the bad as part of your journey. You stop resisting what you can't control and focus instead on how you respond. This shift doesn't just make you calmer, it makes you stronger. Here, what you can do today. Start your morning with 3 deep breaths, focusing only on the sensation of air moving in and out. Let your mind settle there. Repeat your mantra slowly. Feel the words. Then, as you move through your day, check in with yourself regularly. Are you present? Or is your mind racing ahead or stuck in the past? Gently bring yourself back. Remember, Epictetus said, "Don't let your reflection on the whole sweep of life crush you. You are dealing with just a little moment at a time." That little moment is your chance, your opportunity to act with intention and awareness. This mantra isn't just about mindfulness, it's about reclaiming your power over your own experience. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. You stop being a passenger and become the driver of your life. So start today. Embrace the moment you're in, right now, fully and mindfully. Your life unfolds there. Own it. Number 10. I am the master of my own happiness. You need to say this to yourself every morning. I am the master of my own happiness. These words aren't just a mantra, they are a declaration, a powerful claim that your happiness isn't something handed to you by the world or dictated by others. It's yours to own, shape, and protect. Reminds us that our inner world is ours alone to govern. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Think about that. Your happiness doesn't depend on your circumstances, your job, your relationships, or what people say about you. It starts and ends with how you choose to respond. You have control over your thoughts, your attitudes, your reactions. That's your domain. No one else can decide your mood or steal your peace unless you let them. This is the essence of being the master of your own happiness. Now here's the challenge for you. Make it a habit to remind yourself of this every morning. Look in the mirror and say, I am the master of my own happiness. Let it sink deep into your mind and soul. Whenever you face irritation, disappointment, or setback during your day, come back to this mantra. It's your anchor, your shield. Try this practical exercise. Each morning, write down one thing within your control that you will focus on to create your happiness that day. It could be your attitude, your effort, your gratitude, or your choice to let go of negativity. Then, throughout the day, check in with yourself. Are you acting like the master of your own happiness? If not, course correct immediately. Remember, as Epictetus said, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of things. Your power lies in choosing those views wisely. You are not a victim of life's circumstances. You are the captain of your emotional ship. Claim that power daily. Master your happiness, and nothing external will ever have the final say. As you bring this video to a close, remember, these 10 mantras aren't just words. They're tools to shape your mindset every single day. Showed us that strength begins within, in the quiet moments when you choose how to start your morning. So make these mantras your daily armor, your guide through challenges and calm alike. If you commit to saying them each morning, watch how your perspective shifts, your focus sharpens, and your resilience grows. Don't just let this be a one-time watch. Make it a habit. Your day, your mindset, and your life will thank you for it. If you found value here, hit like, share it with someone who needs this boost, and subscribe for more wisdom to fuel your journey. Stay strong, stay steady, and remember, mastery over your mind is mastery over your life. See you in the next one. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Seneca. What if I told you that the subtle signals a woman gives when she's attracted to you are happening right under your nose, and most men completely miss them? Every glance, every touch, every tiny shift in her behavior carries a hidden message. The challenge isn't just noticing them, it's understanding them through the lens of her psychology and your own mindset. In this video, we're peeling back the layers of female behavior with a Stoic approach, helping you see the truth without falling for illusions. You'll learn how to recognize the signs she's genuinely interested in you, while staying calm, composed, and in control of your own reactions. This isn't about manipulation. It's about clarity, self-mastery, and understanding human nature. So stay with me until the very end, because the insights you'll gain here aren't just surface-level tips. They're actionable strategies that transform the way you perceive attraction, interaction, and connection. By the time you finish this video, you'll be able to read the subtle cues she's giving and respond with quiet confidence, guided by reason and the Stoic mindset. Number 1, subtle mirroring of your body language and speech. One of the most revealing signs a woman is quietly drawn to you isn't in what she says, it's in how she moves, how she aligns herself with you without even thinking. Subtle mirroring of your body language and speech is her subconscious way of saying, "I am attuned to you." She copies your gestures, the way you shift in your seat, the rhythm of your speech, even the tempo of your breathing. These are tiny, almost imperceptible reflections, but they speak volumes. And if you learn to notice them, you'll understand the unspoken connection before she ever admits it aloud. This isn't manipulation, it's human nature. As Epictetus teaches, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. By noticing these cues, you align your awareness with reality. You see things as they are, not as you wish them to be. When you observe her mirroring, pay attention to the small details. Does she lean forward when you do? Does she laugh just after your laughter? Does she adopt similar hand gestures, crossing arms or tilting her head like you? These are unconscious affirmations. Her mind is seeking harmony with yours, her body resonating in rhythm with yours. And here, the key. Do not mistake this for control or compliance. It is her silent acknowledgement of your presence, your energy, your dominance in a room not by force, but by calm command. You can use this knowledge deliberately, not to manipulate, but to heighten your own awareness. Start practicing observation as a daily exercise. In your interactions, simply note the patterns in others' behavior without judgment, without expectation. Try a simple routine. Spend 5 minutes each day fully present, scanning the way people move, the way their tone shifts, the micro-expressions that flicker across their faces. Then notice your own body language. Are you grounded? Are you intentional with your gestures, your posture, your energy? When you consciously embody calm, confident, measured presence, mirroring becomes more obvious, more meaningful, and easier to read. Also, practice subtle self-reflection. When she mirrors you, do not immediately respond with imitation. Hold your stance, recognize it, let it register internally. This is where Stoic mastery comes in. You observe, you acknowledge, but you are never reactive. Reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Her reflection of you is an outside signal. Your response, your composure, your calm is within your control. You can choose to let it inspire connection, intrigue, and silent understanding, without losing yourself in the process. Next, cultivate exercises to heighten your detection of mirroring. Practice visualization. Imagine a conversation, a room, the subtle shifts of attention and posture. Picture her mirroring you and see yourself noticing without being distracted. Then, in real life, bring that same attentiveness into play. You'll start seeing the invisible threads that connect people at an instinctive level. You'll notice energy patterns, micro-movements, and vocal rhythms that reveal attraction, alignment, and unspoken interest. Finally, act consciously on what you see. Use your awareness to refine how you present yourself, to communicate with clarity, to maintain your presence without overexertion. Let her subtle mirroring be a mirror for you, reflecting not only her interest but also your own discipline, calm, and magnetic energy. The more you internalize this, the more natural it becomes to notice when someone is attuned to you, and importantly, the more deliberate you become in choosing who deserves your attention and energy. This is not about control, it's about mastery. The silent language of mirroring tells you everything you need to know about her psychology, and more importantly, it teaches you about yourself. Every gesture, every shift, every echo of your movements is a chance to strengthen your awareness, your discernment, and your ability to live with presence. And when you practice this consistently, you move through the world not only seen, but deeply understood by those who matter most and by yourself. Number 2, frequent, meaningful eye contact that lingers. One of the most subtle yet powerful signs she's drawn to you is the way her eyes seek yours, frequently, intentionally, and with a depth that lingers just long enough to make you notice it. There's a quiet energy in sustained eye contact that goes beyond casual glances. It's a conversation without words, a recognition of presence, a silent acknowledgement that you matter to her more than anyone else in the room. And here's the key. This isn't about flirtation for show. It's instinctive. It's her subconscious drawing you in, testing the waters, connecting on a level that most people never notice. When you observe this, you're not just seeing her eyes, you're seeing her attention, and attention is the currency of desire. You need to pay attention because it's easy to overlook. Most men dismiss lingering eye contact as coincidence or misinterpret it as casual friendliness. But the truth, rooted in Stoic awareness, is that small, consistent patterns reveal intention. Seneca said, "Every man's life lies within the present, for the past is spent and done with, and the future is uncertain." When she repeatedly looks into your eyes, she is anchoring herself to the present with you. She's curious, interested, evaluating, and connecting. And every moment her gaze lingers, it's an invitation for you to recognize it and respond with your own mindful presence. You can turn this awareness into action. First, train your perception. Start observing people's eyes, not just women you're interested in, but everyone around you. Notice the difference between fleeting glances and those that hold meaning, that linger beyond necessity. Journal your observations daily. This builds your sensitivity, your ability to detect subtle signals of attraction or connection. It's a practical exercise in Stoic attention, sharpening your awareness of what is real, what is intentional, and what is fleeting. Next, engage intentionally with her gaze. Don't shy away. Hold it for a beat longer than feels comfortable and see what unfolds. This isn't manipulation, it's presence. It's understanding that connection begins in silence. When someone meets your eyes with intention, meet theirs back. Recognize the energy, acknowledge it internally, and let your calm confidence radiate. By practicing this, you cultivate a sense of emotional poise, a quiet magnetism that naturally attracts. You're learning to respond to signals instead of reacting unconsciously. Finally, integrate this into a broader Stoic practice. Meditate on the power of attention, how what you focus on grows. The attention she gives you is a reflection of the energy she invests. Are you aware of where your own attention goes? Do you honor the moments of connection with mindfulness, gratitude, and calm confidence? Daily reflection and journaling can help you align your internal world with the external signals you perceive. When you respond to her gaze with presence rather than anxiety or overthinking, you embody a principle taught. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. So notice the eyes that linger, the glances that return, the attention that seems to follow you without words. These are not trivial. They are a quiet acknowledgement of attraction, curiosity, and interest. And when you act with calm awareness, when you honor those moments, you are not just interpreting her behavior, you are building your own Stoic strength, presence, and understanding of human connection. Pay attention. Engage consciously. Observe patterns. The eyes don't lie. Number 3, playful teasing or light, casual touches. When she playfully teases you or lets her fingers brush yours in passing, she's giving more than just fleeting gestures. She's revealing a layer of her attention that's deliberate, subtle, and intentional. It's a quiet form of communication, almost like a coded signal only the attentive mind can decode. You see, attraction often hides behind humor and light touches because direct declarations carry vulnerability, and vulnerability can be risky. So she uses playfulness as a shield, while simultaneously drawing closer. Stoic philosophy teaches us to observe, not to overreact, and this is where your awareness becomes a powerful tool. He who is brave is free, Seneca said, and your freedom comes from reading the signals clearly without being consumed by them. Recognize the playful banter for what it is, a gentle probe, a test of your response, a dance that shows curiosity and interest. This isn't just about noticing, it's about responding with the right presence. You must cultivate calm confidence, not chase but mirror awareness. Every time she teases you, respond with measured composure. Let your reactions be deliberate. Let your calm magnetize her. Practice this in small moments. When someone jokes, when someone nudges, when subtle energy shifts happen, observe your impulses. Breathe. Answer with intentionality. In doing this, you train yourself to be unshakable, attractive, and aligned with your principles. Playful teasing and light touches are not accidents, they are invitations. They are opportunities for you to engage without losing your equilibrium. You can acknowledge the playfulness, allow for the connection, but never surrender your center. Imagine this as a game where the prize is not her approval but your mastery of emotional control. Reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Her gestures are outside events. Your response is entirely within your control. See them clearly, respond consciously, and cultivate your presence in every interaction. You can also take practical action to sharpen this awareness. Start by paying attention to small physical cues in every social interaction. Observe when someone initiates contact, lightly touches, or teases. Don't analyze obsessively, but notice. Journal these observations at the end of the day, noting your responses and the energy dynamics. Over time, you'll start to recognize patterns not only in attraction but in human behavior more broadly. This is the exercise of a disciplined mind, seeing, learning, adapting, without succumbing to impulse or desire. Remember, playful teasing is both an offer and a test. It reveals interest, but it also probes your composure, your wit, your ability to engage without being reactive. Your task is not to impress, but to be present, steady, and intentional. When she lightly brushes your arm, when she nudges you with a smile, don't flinch. Acknowledge it subtly. Maintain your calm. Let your self-possession do the talking. You become the anchor, the unmovable force, the man who can engage without losing his grounding. Ultimately, attraction is about energy, awareness, and subtlety. Playful teasing and casual touches are whispers of attention, signals that matter only if you notice them and respond with mastery. Cultivate presence, reflect daily, and practice intentional responses. Over time, you'll move through interactions like a strategist, recognizing opportunities and signals that others miss, all while remaining centered and unshakable. This is the Stoic way. Observe without attachment, respond without overreaction, and master your mind in the art of connection. Number 4, she prioritizes time with you over others. When she prioritizes time with you over others, it's not a coincidence and it's not superficial. This is a signal that your presence matters to her more than anyone else. She's willing to shift her schedule, navigate her priorities, and invest attention in you, even when other options are available. And you need to recognize the power of this. Most people scatter their energy indiscriminately, giving pieces of themselves to anyone who asks, but she doesn't. She consciously chooses to dedicate it to you. That choice alone speaks volumes about her attraction. Said, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Her actions, however, are the truth. Actions reveal more than words ever could. Now, this isn't about creating dependency or inflating ego. This is about clarity and awareness. You need to notice patterns, the subtle ways she sacrifices convenience, comfort, and time because she wants to be with you. And here, where your own responsibility comes in, you must match her level of intentionality. Value her choice. Respect the time she offers you. Engage fully when she's present. The Stoics teach us to focus on what is within our control. You cannot dictate her feelings, but you can honor them, and in doing so, elevate your own character. You show that your attention is deliberate, that your presence carries weight. To make this practical, start a daily reflection exercise. Each evening, consider the people you interacted with. Ask yourself, who prioritized time with me? Who invested their energy in a meaningful way? Who added value simply by being present? Recognize it not with arrogance, but with gratitude and awareness. Then, evaluate your own priorities. Are you showing the same commitment to those who deserve it? Are you intentional with your energy, or are you scattered, passive, letting circumstances dictate your attention? When you adopt this mindset, you not only understand her actions, but also elevate your own life. And there's another layer here, one that most men overlook. Her prioritization is a reflection of emotional alignment. When she rearranges her world to be near you, she is signaling trust, comfort, and a desire to share her internal space. You must treat that space with respect. Do not waste it on distractions, arguments, or unnecessary drama. Instead, cultivate your own presence. Become the person whose time is equally precious. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Don't waste hers or yours. You can also practice mindful engagement as an exercise. The next time she chooses to spend time with you, focus fully on the moment. Put away devices. Silence distractions. Observe the little things, how she smiles, how her tone changes, the way she leans into the conversation. Appreciate it deeply, not outwardly for show, but inwardly as a way to recognize value. When you respond with full attention, you reinforce the bond. You signal that you understand the significance of her choice, and in doing so, you cultivate a connection that is genuine, grounded, and resilient. Ultimately, this isn't about manipulation or strategy. It's about observation, reflection, and conscious action. She prioritizes time with you because she wants to invest where she sees value. You honor that by doing the same, by being deliberate with your presence, and by living your life with intention. When you master this, you not only understand attraction, you embody it. You learn to recognize energy, value attention, and respond with purpose. And that in itself is the essence of a Stoic mindset: awareness, control, and alignment with what truly matters. Number 5, engages deeply in conversation, showing genuine curiosity. When she engages deeply in conversation with you, it's not just casual chatter. It's a signal, a subtle, almost unspoken declaration of interest. She leans in, not physically always, but mentally. Her questions aren't shallow or scripted. They are deliberate probes designed to understand your thoughts, your values, your inner world. And you can sense it. You notice the intensity, the focus, the way she seems to genuinely care about your perspective. This is more than attraction, it's recognition. It's the human mind drawn to someone who exudes quiet strength, someone who navigates life with purpose and calm. Wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." When you embody that in your interactions, she can't help but notice. You have the power here, and it starts with how you respond. Don't just give her answers. Offer insight, show presence, demonstrate your mind at work. Engage in conversation as a practice of self-expression and self-discipline. Observe how she reacts. Does she mirror your energy? Does she follow your thought threads, asking questions that reveal curiosity, not just politeness? This is her way of signaling that she values your mind. And you, in turn, can choose to sharpen that mind to become someone worth this level of attention. Daily reflection exercises help here. Write down your key insights from conversations each evening. Ask yourself, did I challenge my thinking? Did I elevate the dialogue? Did I remain calm, clear, and confident? Over time, you cultivate a presence that draws interest naturally. Another aspect is active listening. You have to truly hear her, not just wait for your turn to speak. Let her words sink in, observe the patterns, notice the emotions behind the words. This isn't manipulation, it's awareness. Epictetus reminds us, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Practice this consciously. Next time you converse, focus on listening first. Respond only when you have fully absorbed what she's saying. Not only does this elevate your own clarity and patience, but it also signals to her, without words, that you are a man of depth, a man who values understanding, not just being understood. And here's the part that most men miss. She remembers the nuances. The way you explain something complex with calm precision. The way you held your ground on a principle without being rigid. The way your mind moved fluidly from one idea to the next, showing both intelligence and composure. She notices because she senses alignment with something higher than surface-level conversation. She senses stoic composure. She's drawn not to noise or bravado, but to your clarity, your self-control, your consistent values. Now here's a practical exercise. During your next interaction, consciously ask one question that reveals your curiosity about her deeper values or goals. Then, allow silence. Let her answer fully without interruption. Observe how she engages, how she lights up, how her attention sharpens. Reflect afterward. Did you maintain presence? Did you balance curiosity with composure? This simple habit trains you to recognize authentic attraction signals, while cultivating the kind of presence that naturally commands respect and interest. The key takeaway is this. When she engages deeply, she's signaling recognition and attraction, not just casual interest. And you, by practicing presence, clarity, and stoic calm, can respond in a way that elevates both yourself and the connection. Cultivate the art of conversation as a discipline. Observe, listen, reflect, and refine. When you do, you'll not only notice these signals more clearly, but you'll also become someone whose mind is magnetic, whose presence is commanding, whose energy draws genuine interest effortlessly. Now that you know the subtle signs she's secretly attracted to you, it's time to step back, stay calm, and observe with clarity. Remember, desire is often unspoken and the move is patience. Never chase, never react. Let your presence, your energy, and your composure speak louder than words. If you apply these insights consistently, you'll not only understand female psychology better, but also master the art of silent influence, the Stoic way. So take a moment to reflect, sharpen your awareness, and cultivate that quiet confidence that naturally draws people in. If this video gave you value, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to level up your mind and your life. Stay disciplined, stay observant, and remember, the power is always within you. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? What if I told you that someone you trust, someone you share your time, energy, and secrets with, might actually harbor silent resentment toward you, without ever showing it openly? It's a chilling thought, but Carl believed that the people closest to us can sometimes project their own hidden frustrations and envy onto those they claim to care about. And here's the kicker. Most of us are completely blind to these subtle signs until it's too late. In this video, we'll uncover the hidden patterns of behavior that reveal when someone secretly dislikes you. From passive-aggressive comments to subtle undermining gestures, you'll learn to detect what's called the shadow in human relationships, the part of people that hides what they truly feel. Stick with me until the very end, because understanding these signs isn't just about spotting hostility. It's about protecting your energy, making wiser choices, and cultivating relationships that genuinely uplift you. By the time we're done, you'll gain a heightened awareness that transforms how you see the people around you and how you safeguard your inner peace. Number 1, they frequently criticize or belittle you, even over small things. You might not always notice it at first, but pay close attention to how people around you speak to you. If someone close to you constantly criticizes or belittles you, even over the smallest things, it's a red flag you cannot afford to ignore. This isn't about occasional teasing or playful banter. I'm talking about repeated digs, subtle digs, comments that sting more than they should. The person might focus on minor mistakes, your choices, your appearance, or your opinions, and they do it not in a spirit of growth, but in a way that makes you doubt yourself. When someone does this consistently, it's often rooted in jealousy, resentment, or even subconscious dislike. Carl taught us that people project their inner conflicts onto others, so when someone can't recognize or accept their own shortcomings, they might aim to highlight yours instead. You deserve relationships that uplift you, not ones that chip away at your confidence little by little. You have to train yourself to notice these patterns. Don't dismiss them as just their personality or "I'm too sensitive." Awareness is the first step toward reclaiming your peace. Every time they belittle you, pause, reflect, ask yourself, is this feedback genuinely meant to help me grow, or is it intended to provoke, to assert control, or to make me feel inferior? A powerful habit you can adopt is to keep a mental or even written log. Track moments when you feel demeaned or criticized unnecessarily. Over time, you'll see a pattern emerge, and patterns never lie. They show you who is safe to trust with your energy and who is not. Remember, as Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You cannot control their behavior, but you can control how you respond. Once you recognize this, it's time to act. You don't have to respond with anger or confrontation every time. Stoicism teaches us to rise above petty hostility. You can respond calmly, set boundaries, or limit interactions with those who consistently undermine you. Practice verbal or mental detachment exercises. When they criticize, silently repeat, "Their words do not define me," or "I will not let this steal my calm." Over time, this builds a shield of inner resilience. You are reclaiming the space around your mind and your life from those who would subtly poison it. At the same time, challenge yourself to reinforce your self-worth daily. Engage in small, deliberate rituals that affirm who you are. Journaling is a fantastic tool here. Write down achievements, strengths, and qualities that you value in yourself. Whenever criticism arises, you'll have a reservoir of self-knowledge to draw from, so their words lose their power. Additionally, cultivate the habit of asking yourself, is this true? Does this reflect reality, or is this a projection? By doing this, you sharpen your judgment, you refine your perception, and you prevent external negativity from infecting your inner life. Finally, don't forget to protect your energy. You are not obligated to justify yourself to someone who persistently belittles you. Practice the art of silent detachment. Distance yourself emotionally and mentally, focus on your growth, and pour your energy into constructive pursuits. The person who constantly criticizes is revealing more about their own insecurities than about your worth. You deserve relationships that build you up, not tear you down. Make the conscious choice today to notice these patterns, to respond with calm and clarity, and to prioritize your inner peace above all. By doing this, you are not just surviving their negativity, you are rising above it, stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than ever. Number 2, they avoid meaningful conversations or emotional intimacy with you. Imagine for a moment that someone close to you consistently avoids diving into deeper conversations with you, brushing aside any attempt to share feelings or explore meaningful topics. At first, it might feel like they're just busy, distracted, or emotionally unavailable, and you might forgive it. But over time, you begin to notice a pattern, a deliberate retreat from any moment that requires vulnerability. When someone secretly harbors resentment or negative feelings toward you, one of the most telling signs is their avoidance of emotional intimacy. They keep interactions superficial, sticking to safe topics, joking around, or talking about things that don't matter. They might never ask how you truly feel, what you dream of, or what's weighing on your heart. This isn't just a quirk of personality. It's a subtle form of distancing that protects them from confronting their own feelings or acknowledging a genuine connection with you. You need to recognize that avoiding meaningful conversations is more than a minor irritation. It's a reflection of their unwillingness to engage with you on a level that matters. Carl emphasized the importance of authentic self-expression and emotional honesty. He believed that hiding your true self or avoiding the exploration of the psyche leads to inner conflict. In relationships, this translates directly. If someone is unwilling to explore emotions with you, it's a silent barrier, a form of quiet hostility. You might feel a gnawing emptiness after attempts to connect, a subtle sense that something is off. That feeling is your intuition signaling that this relationship lacks the authenticity necessary for growth. And here's the thing, you have to honor that instinct. Don't let yourself be trapped in superficiality that drains your energy. Now you might be tempted to try harder to coax them into opening up, to spend more time waiting for a breakthrough. But Stoicism teaches you that you cannot control another's willingness to engage, you can only control your own response. As said, choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. Your power lies in noticing patterns, reflecting on what truly nourishes your soul, and taking deliberate steps to protect it. When someone persistently avoids meaningful dialogue, it's time to recalibrate. Shift your focus to relationships where mutual vulnerability is welcomed, where honesty is met with openness rather than deflection. Begin practicing a mental exercise daily. After each interaction, quietly reflect. Did this conversation feel deep, or did it skim the surface? Over time, you'll train yourself to identify the relationships that uplift you versus those that quietly erode your emotional energy. Here's a habit to adopt immediately. Start asking yourself how you feel before, during, and after interactions with this person. Are you left feeling heard and valued, or empty and frustrated? Journaling this consistently can illuminate the truth in ways your mind might try to obscure. Then, set boundaries that protect your inner life. If someone repeatedly sidesteps emotional intimacy, consciously choose to engage less in trivial chatter and more in spaces where your growth and emotional depth are appreciated. Replace the energy you'd spend chasing their approval with practices that expand your self-awareness, meditative reflection, deliberate journaling, or mindful solitude. In these spaces, you cultivate clarity, strength, and self-respect, turning away from relationships that silently sabotage your emotional well-being. You have the ability to transform how you interact with others and, more importantly, how you value yourself. When someone avoids meaningful conversations, do not dismiss it. Recognize it, accept it, and act. Don't plead for depth from those unwilling to provide it. Instead, fortify your own capacity for honest dialogue, nurture connections where your voice matters, and let go of ties that quietly diminish you. By doing this, you are not reacting with anger or resentment. You are choosing wisdom, serenity, and alignment with your inner principles. Carl would remind you, the shadow of another does not define your light. Embrace your power to engage deeply where it counts and step away from the emptiness of silence masquerading as connection. This is where real growth begins. Number 3, you sense consistent passive-aggressive behavior, or subtle digs. You know that feeling when someone's words or actions leave a strange, uneasy impression on you, like a shadow lingering in a room long after the light has faded. That's often the subtle fingerprint of passive-aggressive behavior, a quiet, corrosive current that can gnaw at your peace if you let it. When someone close to you consistently delivers subtle digs, the tiny barbs may seem harmless at first, a sarcastic remark, a backhanded compliment, a sigh when you speak. But over time, they accumulate into a pattern that your intuition knows is off. Your mind senses it even if your lips don't say it. Carl believed that what is unconscious in one person often manifests in ways that ripple out to those around them. And in this case, the negative feelings they carry can emerge in sneaky, indirect ways, leaving you feeling drained and confused. You need to honor that instinct. If it feels wrong, it probably is. You can't control another person's hidden emotions, but you can control how you respond to them. This is where Stoicism becomes your shield. As said, choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. You don't have to absorb every subtle jab or internalize the unspoken tension. Start noticing the patterns. Keep a mental log or even a journal of moments where comments or gestures left you unsettled. Record what was said, how it made you feel, and any recurring themes. Over time, this will reveal the truth you might have been trying to ignore. It's not about paranoia, it's about clarity. By acknowledging these signals, you reclaim power over your environment. Once you've identified the patterns, you can act. Don't confront blindly or with anger. Instead, adopt deliberate strategies to protect your energy. Create boundaries, even subtle ones, to reduce exposure to these corrosive dynamics. Learn to detach emotionally from remarks that are meant to provoke. When a passive-aggressive comment surfaces, take a breath, step back and respond, or choose not to respond, in a way that aligns with your values. Practice mindfulness. Notice your physical and emotional reactions without judgment. Observe them like clouds drifting across the sky, and then let them go. This is your personal Stoic exercise, training your mind to remain undisturbed, even in the presence of negativity. You also need to develop internal fortitude. Reframe your perspective so that someone else's passive-aggressive tendencies no longer dictate your self-worth. Recognize that their subtle digs reflect more about their internal struggles than your value. Adopt the habit of affirming your integrity, your effort, and your progress daily. Each morning, remind yourself that you are choosing your reactions, shaping your energy, and strengthening your resilience. Each evening, reflect on moments where you maintained calm and composure despite provocation. This exercise will transform the subtle poison of others' behavior into a catalyst for your growth. Finally, don't underestimate the importance of removal when necessary. Sometimes, the pattern is persistent and harmful enough that stepping back becomes essential. This isn't failure, it's strategic self-preservation. Quietly reducing time with people who consistently inject passive aggression into your life is a practice of self-respect, not vengeance. As Epictetus advised, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. You have power over your boundaries, your energy, your thoughts. Act on it. Train your awareness, strengthen your inner calm, and refuse to allow subtle digs to erode your peace. Over time, you'll find that your intuition sharpens, your presence becomes unshakable, and the energy around you aligns with your values, not someone else's hidden resentment. Number 4, they rarely celebrate your successes and may downplay your achievements. Have you ever noticed how some people in your life barely react when you share good news? Maybe you've achieved something significant, something that should naturally light up the room, and yet the response you get is lukewarm at best. You feel it in the air, the subtle sigh, the shift in posture, the faint shrug that somehow minimizes the magnitude of your accomplishment. This isn't just awkward, it's telling. Carl reminds us that the shadows in others often reflect what they fear or despise in themselves. When someone close to you downplays your achievements or treats your success as if it barely matters, it's not a minor annoyance. It's a signal. It's a sign that, deep down, there may be a hidden resentment toward you. They may secretly harbor feelings of envy, inadequacy, or even silent hostility. You deserve to notice this because acknowledging it is your first step toward reclaiming your power. You need to start observing patterns, not just isolated moments. Do they rarely celebrate your wins? Do they change the subject quickly when you mention your progress? Maybe they make comments that sound like praise but carry an undertone of dismissal. These behaviors chip away at your confidence subtly, like a slow leak. And here's the crucial truth. You cannot rely on their validation to measure your worth. As wisely said, if someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth by which no one was ever truly harmed. Your growth, your victories, your progress, they are yours to own. No one else's shadow should dim your light. Now I want you to consider a simple daily exercise. Each morning, write down one thing you accomplished the day before, no matter how small. It could be as simple as completing a task you procrastinated on, or as significant as hitting a milestone in your work or personal life. Then, reflect for a moment on how it made you feel. This is your personal celebration, your acknowledgement of your own progress. By doing this consistently, you train yourself to internalize your victories, making you less dependent on others' approval. It's a form of silent strength, a quiet assertion of self-respect. Another powerful practice is the mental check-in when interacting with people who downplay you. Before reacting emotionally, pause, ask yourself, is this reflection of me, or is it a reflection of their own inner turmoil? Often, their inability to celebrate you is rooted in their own dissatisfaction, their own insecurities. By recognizing this, you detach from the need to defend your success and instead protect your energy. As Seneca taught, we should every night call ourselves to an account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passions opposed? What temptation resisted? Apply this to the way you process other people's responses to your victories. Ask yourself, am I allowing this person to dictate my self-worth, or am I holding the reins of my own value? Finally, take action to adjust your boundaries. You don't need to confront every slight, but you do need to curate the energy you absorb. Spend more time with people who genuinely uplift and inspire you, and allow yourself to slowly distance from those whose presence subtly undermines you. Each time someone tries to downplay your achievements, let it pass like water around a stone. Notice it, acknowledge it internally, and then keep moving. Your attention and energy are precious. Guard them fiercely. Celebrate yourself loudly, internally, and unapologetically. Let the world see your progress, but don't wait for permission or applause. Your victories are yours. Own them. Relish them. And remember, as Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. React by elevating yourself, not by shrinking to fit someone else's hidden resentment. Number 5, their body language or tone conveys discomfort or resentment around you. You need to pay attention, really pay attention, because sometimes the signs of hidden resentment aren't shouted out loud. They're whispered through posture, through the subtle tightening of a jaw, the crossing of arms, the barely noticeable stiffening of a back. The way someone moves around you can reveal what words never will. If you notice that their body shifts whenever you enter a room, if their eyes flick away instead of meeting yours, or if their tone carries an undercurrent of irritation or impatience, these are not random. They are messages you cannot afford to ignore. Carl said, Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. That irritation you feel in response to their energy, that's a signal. It's telling you that something is misaligned, that your environment needs a realignment of energy and boundaries. You must honor that. Your first task is to become hyper-aware. Observe not just what people say, but how they say it. Listen to the pauses, the inflections, the sighs, the hesitations. Watch for the subtle cues, a shoulder that stiffens when you speak, a hand that twitches, a smile that doesn't reach the eyes. These are whispers from the universe, subtle warnings that someone may harbor feelings toward you that are far from supportive. Don't ignore them. Journaling helps here. Take 5 minutes each day to reflect on your interactions. Write down what felt off, what made you uneasy, what tone seemed clipped or distant. Over time, patterns emerge. Patterns are truth wearing a mask of consistency. Once you start noticing, the next step is to pause and breathe. You are allowed to protect your energy. As reminds us, choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. Let that sink in. It doesn't mean confrontation is immediate, but it does mean that you begin to separate your energy from theirs. You start to see that their discomfort is theirs to carry, not yours to absorb. Visualize a shield of calm surrounding you, a soft but impenetrable boundary that allows you to move through interactions without absorbing their resentment. Practice this daily. Even in the smallest exchanges, see it as a training ground. Next, consider your own responses. You cannot control their emotions, but you can control your reactions. If their tone is harsh, if their body language screams tension, respond with equanimity, not defensiveness. Speak calmly, hold steady eye contact, and slow your gestures. This isn't just politeness. It's a subtle way to disrupt their negative energy while reinforcing your own stability. You are teaching them silently that you are untouchable in your calm. Journaling again helps. Reflect on how you maintained composure, what worked, what tempted you to react. Gradually, your responses become instinctive, your peace a habit, a force that shapes the room rather than being shaped by it. Finally, act deliberately. If patterns persist, consider distance. Spoke of the shadow, those hidden parts of ourselves that we project onto others. If someone's body language constantly communicates hostility, it is possible that you are encountering their shadow repeatedly. Guarding yourself is not cruelty, it is wisdom. Start small. Reduce exposure in ways that don't burn bridges but preserve your energy. Engage when necessary, withdraw when possible. Create intentional solitude. Use these moments to journal, to meditate, to realign yourself. Recognize the power in observation and selective engagement. Your energy is a precious resource. Treat it like the rare gem it is. Every glance, every inflection, every subtle movement is a lesson if you choose to read it. You have the power to see beneath the surface, to interpret the unspoken, and to act with wisdom. Make awareness your practice, calm your companion, and boundaries your shield. Watch, reflect, protect, and grow, because the world will always send subtle signals. The question is whether you choose to heed them or let them slip by unnoticed. Remember what Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Now that you've seen the subtle signs someone close to you may secretly harbor resentment, you're armed with awareness, the most powerful tool for protecting your peace. Don't let hidden hostility drain your energy or cloud your judgment. Take a moment to reflect. Who in your circle truly adds value to your life, and who might be quietly undermining you? Awareness is the first step towards setting boundaries, reclaiming your emotional clarity, and strengthening your relationships, or gracefully letting go of the toxic ones. If this video opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this insight. And remember, your inner calm is priceless. Guard it fiercely, act wisely, and never let silent negativity dictate your life.